a hat or lobster or
Yeah.
whatever Laura might have brought us onto the stage
It
to
looks very Windows 95 or
click on.
98.
I am overjoyed with this UI,
Yeah.
frankly. I think it's a delight. So, I mean, do you choose
Well,
questions from this heap?
there's green ones,
Okay.
which maybe are PAX Online. Looks like they have a little logo.
I mean, I think that's a fair assessment. Yeah.
White, probably just safe, maybe.
Yeah, could be. It's got a little stamp on there, and
Black
then
space.
Exactly. Yeah.
Questions about space.
The void.
Yeah.
No, I think that we understand the color coded nature of this, and I suspect that we're ready to dig in.
Well, let's start with a PAX Online question.
Yeah, that's auspicious.
Sophia from Argentina.
That's not
I
it.
don't know. Is that a real place? Do we say?
I think so. But
Asks,
I mean, it looks like it's a link. I mean, theoretically, I guess we could just click on it and just go there.
You switched to this Q&A system to avoid people telling you their life stories instead of asking questions. Now, people have decided this is the best way to present you their short fiction stories. What's next?
Gosh, I mean, the truth is, yeah. I mean, it had to switch. The initial ritual became almost like, I mean, eventually it became something almost like a tent revival.
It got pretty intense.
Well, yeah, it had a real energy, but it was also occasionally hijacked for people to solicit donations for their sick cat.
So you made that joke on stage, and she was in the audience at the last PAX. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I don't remember that she was there, but I do remember making the joke.
No, she said that was me. I thought we were going to retire that joke, man.
Did we ask about the cat?
She said the cat died.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, we are all losers in that, really. That whole scenario.
There's a lot to...
I guess mostly the cat, though.
Yeah, I was going to say number one loser. But as far as this being a place for people to submit their works of fiction, I consider that the optimal outcome for a Q&A. Way to attack the system at its core.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we get some in here today.
Well, my fantasy is that Laura from work will leave little seeds of inspiration in these questions, as she so often does.
All right. Do you want to read the next one? I'll pull it up.
Yeah, absolutely. But we can do that with this powerful technology.
Here you go.
Rim from Queens asks, if you're playing a tabletop game with friends and someone is taking way too long on their turn, what do you do? Okay. Well, I mean, I would say historically, what I have done is give incredibly detailed suggestions for what might happen on the turn. Although I understand that this is not considered. This is a faux pas, to be sure. But I think it depends on how long. I think it depends on how long it's taking.
Well,
right?
And it depends on if you're the DM or not. I mean, we're assuming you're the DM. I just start saying, okay, -1 to the roll.
I have seen you literally do this.
-3 to the roll.
Or as people are talking, like when you run a table and you have people there who are just talking, like even during their turn, you start applying negatives just to move shit along.
I like constant pressure. Yes. The crucible in which players are forged.
Yeah. So you melt players? Is that the...
Well, first, yes, you have to break them down. Yeah. Before I don't ever build them back up, though.
No,
that's my key.
It's a 2-stage process. Yeah. I consider myself very good at the first part.
I'm an innovator.
So what else you got here?
Well, we've got a lot of green. Should we see what a black means?
Yeah, let's take a look. Flip one up.
Maxwellian Demonus from Your Mind Palace.
Wow.
Asks, words sometimes carry many meanings. Those meanings can be an insight into the brain meats of the host. Merrick, Gerorb.
Gerorb.
Elucidate your thoughts at this time when the utterance is resolution.
Resolution.
All right. Is this like when you're in the therapy and they're like, I say a word and you give me the first thing I think of when I hear resolution, the first thing I think of is I guess determination.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think display settings.
Are you serious?
That's the first thing I think of. Yeah, it's bizarre that you would have anything else. The second thing I would suggest is that I almost never say the word resolution, and I only say the stupid made up version of the word now, which is resolutions.
I still say resolutions too. But yeah, as soon as I read the word resolution, my mind thought like determined.
Oh no! In my mind, I had right clicked on the desktop. I had slid down that menu. It's right by properties.
Well, there's some insight into our mind meets.
Well, we did spend a half an hour before this panel modifying resolutions and fucking with the computers. So that's probably it.
All right, let's go green.
Yeah, now more than ever.
It's all you. What the hell?
Oh no! So
I hadn't even considered this. Crabber?
No, Crabber. I'm pretty sure it's Crabbert, but I love it. It could
Crabber.
be. Oh no! I was just gonna say it could be the chapeau, but it never once occurred to me that. I mean, honestly, now I'm horrified. I think that this is a relatively friendly.
This is pretty tame, man.
This is a pretty tame thing. So in Earth's ancient past, we used to run a subsite called The Bench that was all user submissions. Basically, we offered up character art, and it was like a multi-layered Photoshop thingy back in at that era, and one of my tasks over the weekend would be to go through all the submissions, and some of the submissions were not in fact comics, but were in fact pornography.
Yeah, we had to close The Bench down eventually.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't have an answer for Crabbert.
No, but I think the payload was received at any rate. Although, as I suggested, it could get much worse. List from the Imperial Province of Skyrim asks Jerry and Mike, if you could live out your days in one fantasy universe, which would it be? One of your own creation, like the Ironwood? F no. Definitely not. No, we did not make the Ironwood. The Ironwood is not an aspirational realm.
Yeah.
The Ironwood is like a forest that is itself hungry. Avoid that. Or a collectively crafted plane such as Forgotten Realms. I think the Forgotten Realms is also a scary place to live. I mean, this is the thing, is that any fantasy place that's interesting enough to play in
is going to have a lot of conflict.
It's not a zone you necessarily want to retire in.
Yeah.
Let's think of a fantasy universe where living there might be okay.
Bikini Bottom?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
There's a restaurant. I mean, how much time do you spend deciding which restaurant?
Do Thomas Kincaid paintings actually like?
Yes. Well,
does that signify a connected universe?
No. Are you enunciating the it's like the MCU, but it's like made up of various Thomas Kincaid paintings?
Yeah, I mean, maybe all of those are just windows into a setting.
One place.
Yeah,
I think that, look, if you had to live somewhere, it's not going to be in, Thay or one of these spooky ass places.
No.
I think that if you can just be there, just let the painter of light wrap us in a blanket of color. Search for Thomas Kincaid blood if you are curious what we mean by that.
Paints with his blood.
Yeah. Long story short, there's blood in the paint,
and paints with his blood.
Long story short, your mom has got a lot of a man's blood
in her house on the walls.
Maybe she doesn't know. Don't tell her.
Don't tell her about the blood.
It's something that you'll have in your mind.
All right. Strong hongs gathered thong from wrong side of the bong.
I mean,
okay. Asks,
did they mean to say throng?
Yeah, I think so. Strong hongs gathered throng.
A gathered thong.
That's a great rhyme.
No, I like it. The wrong side of the bong actually sounds like a kick-ass album.
Yeah.
That I would love to make.
Cypress Hill.
It's a collabo.
Yeah.
But no, a gathered thong, I can physically feel it just from these words.
Yeah.
with the lineness of this PAX being on, there is a high probability of questions being inside digital envelopes. This is the most meta shit.
Wow.
This is how far ahead of the game Strong Hong is.
They called it.
Perhaps written as emails. But as far as I know, the only way to give them color is via tags in Outlook or a Thunderbird or the Gmail web client. Is this the case this time around? If not, and we're not privy to visual confirmation of envelopes' physical existence, how would you describe your perception of thems? I want to be this person's...
Fuck?
I just want to be this person's friend. I want to follow and learn at their feet.
No. I don't know what this means. Do you have any idea what this question is?
It's about the words they're not saying.
Is it?
Maybe. Let's see if the next question has more language in it.
Let's go PAX Online. AJ
Scorp, an ancient ally of the channel.
From Bloomington asks, 2 men walk into a bar. The third one meets them about an hour later, and they have a wonderful time reminiscing about their time in college.
Scorp, you know perfectly well that this is not a question. This barely constitutes the fan fiction we've described before. I think I've seen enough.
I'm not smart. Is there something? Is there a code in here? 2 men walk into a bar. Is it a riddle?
Let me help you out. Don't spend any more time on this.
Okay. All right.
Just click that little paw down there on the bottom.
One.
Yep. Arthup from Intra Webs asks, what hobby, skill, etc. did you acquire during these hellish times that you probably never would have had things gone differently? Would Mike still be into racing games? Don't fucking start us on that. We can fill the rest of this panel just with intimate descriptions of the Mazda MX-5. What fun things has Jerry discovered about himself while stuck at home for weeks/months on end?
I would say a long time.
Yeah. Now that you think about it, time has passed. Although in the moment, it's easy to forget.
Almost half a year.
I don't want to.
Damn near.
The more we talk about it, the realer it gets. I was fine with the sort of vague version before. So, the main thing that I have been doing, it's all kitchen shit. It's all food. Like all my hobbies typically result in something to eat or drink at the end of them. And I've just been focusing end to end on, I can transform a table full of stuff into bolognese, and it doesn't even matter what the stuff is.
Doesn't have to start with meat and like vegetables and stuff. Wow.
That's how good I am.
Do you even need tomatoes?
Nah, it's not really. Even just some cans.
Wow.
Just some cans and some lawn clippings.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
But we've also had to become like teachers.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I mean, that's, months ago now.
Yeah.
But yes, we also did.
It's going to be starting back up.
Honestly, no, that's true. I had to get as good as I can be at any rate at the quadratic formula.
Yeah.
I had to get way better at algebra than I ever was when I was at school, for sure.
I took over. I handled some historical fiction writing. Believe it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you lean in on that one?
I leaned in. I was good at it, too. Like, this is probably the best 4th grade historical fiction story this lady has ever fucking read in her life.
No, I believe it. I think that as a grown-ass man, you are capable of doing your child's homework. I think that you have it in you.
Let's try a PAX Online question.
Yeah, let's hit it.
Brosephine from Virginia asks, no in-person PAXs seems like a suspiciously convenient cover-up for the real truth that both of you have finally abandoned mortal flesh and uploaded your consciousnesses permanently to interwebs. Can you confirm this is the case? And does being disembodied make it harder to eat?
I mean, I think that this is actually just an old Windows wallpaper. I think that the fact that you're wearing a fully virtual,
real hat.
Yeah, the fact that you're wearing a digital hat in your mind vault there I think
Kind of itches. Hold on, I gotta adjust it.
I think that the case can be made that maybe you've made the transition for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we haven't yet, but I would in a heartbeat.
Yeah. But my last heartbeat would be
My last heartbeat, I would sign the thing and be like, yeah, upload my shit, please.
Yeah. And DocuSign.
Yep.
And then we're ready to go.
I'm ready to go. Would you really? Honestly, like for real?
What, would I enter the cyberverse?
Yeah, like if you were dying and a doctor came to you and said, Mr. Horkrims, you have, we think, perhaps a day to live, but we have a technology that could save you. Do you want to have your consciousness uploaded into this Dell?
Into these, yeah, I was just gonna say, into this Dell Inspiron,
into this bitchin' Alienware.
Listen, you'd have to show me the thing.
It's got SSD.
I was just gonna say it's got the M2 in there.
You're gonna love it.
If he just like made the case, he'd be like, I don't know. But if they push the thing up, and here's the thing I'm a sucker for. If it has this, I'm in. If it has the RAM with the LEDs,
oh yeah,
now we're done.
Pull the plug now and
put me
plug
in
a new one in.
Put me in there, coach.
All right. What do we want? Here we go. What?
Clippy from word processing asks, sometimes I just pop up for no particular reason, like now. We knew it.
Clippy.
God, how many? How many are images?
More than we'll ever know. Turnabout from Fair Play asks, which one of you is the funner dad?
Oh, man.
Boy, I think that depends on your definition of fun.
Well, let's say the definition is fun. Like how much fun one of us is as a dad.
Then probably me.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah. I think I'm more lax probably.
I guarantee it.
But that's because it's hard for me to conceive of other people. It's not my fault.
No, it's just this is just the mechanism.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that I can provide structure for the youth.
Yeah, and I provide some basic structure. I provide the tools for structure.
You've heard the tools for the creation of structure.
The creation of structure. I do.
Is this like conceptualizing the visualization process?
I remember we were talking to somebody and they were like, oh yeah, I've got my daughter in like these different, she's learning Chinese and she's learning this piano and she's doing all this other stuff. And she's like way younger than any of my kids. And he's like, right? And I'm like, fuck no, I don't know. My job is to keep these things alive until they are 18.
It's a maintenance task.
Yeah. I make sure they have food, that they don't get caught out in the rain or some shit.
Well, it's a maintenance task. It's something I do on weekends. You know what I mean?
But no, I'm not like investing in their future. I got my own shit to worry about.
Sometimes when you turn your head to the left and it thinks and it's trying madly to adjust it, it actually just looks like you have like a thick red bang. It's really derived. I love it. I get a lot. Right. I derive a lot of pleasure from it.
Get it.
All right. John Video Games from Gametown or Gameton.
I think that's it.
Yep. Did Pitch Week ever happen after East? How did it go? So my strong suspicion is that John Video Games is talking about sort of what we call, it's just when you say Pitch Week, it's just something that Mike and I do really, where we just try to behave as though none of the things that we can't make comics about any of the things that we know about. We have to make a brand new comic that looks a totally different way. And we tend to make, 3 one-page pitches and then put those in front of the audience basically. And a lot of those have turned into crazy stuff. Yeah.
We talked about doing another one after East, but
we didn't know what was going to fucking happen.
I mean, I've been quarantined since we came back. I got off the plane from East and came home to quarantine.
Yeah.
Because this neighborhood was like one of the first places to lock down. It was like Target Zero or whatever right here.
Yeah. Well, what we did, um, I think we had a couple different ideas. Obviously, um, no spoilers, obviously. We had a couple different concepts, but I think that a lot of the energy um, got poured directly into racing on Twitch. And
Yes.
then, like a surprising amount of energy has
Yeah.
been applied. Now, obviously, right now you're in the mind library, but my suspicion is that were the green screen not there, I mean,
I know what you're talking about.
just to your left, like 2 feet, where this bust would be,
Yeah.
is
That's my racing rig.
Yeah, is a relatively substantial iRacing rig, right?
Yeah. Simulation racing, as I like to call it. Some people call it sim racing. Simulation racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, has been a real winner for me during this quarantine. Like something that I can get obsessed about.
Yeah.
And sitting here.
Well, and what's funny is that you started getting obsessed with it at the exact moment that fans of the form in general basically had to move online, and that includes a lot of the professional drivers.
Yeah, all of a sudden, sim racing was the only racing there was for a couple months.
Yeah. It's like some sports don't become esports, or they don't become esports in a way that we recognize as the original sport. Like it's really incredible to see somebody who's really good at like NHL,
sure,
or NFL, like approach those games basically as tactics, as real-time strategic games. But in racing, there's a driver in a car, and it maps really, really well to the regular sport. And it's been super fun to watch that happen on there.
Yeah, as far as the next time we'll get to a pitch week, I mean, I can tell you that I don't think it's any surprise to say that, this whole pandemic shit is draining.
Oh, yeah.
It's tough to make things under these conditions, I think.
Yeah.
I definitely still have those ideas and want and more that I want to do. All right. There you go, Jerry.
I got it. Lucifer from One Trader's Place, Neneth Circle, Hell, asks, Dear Tycho, what have you been doing lately to protect your immortal soul? Dear Gabe, keep up the good work. See you real soon. Wow.
What?
Yeah, this is incredibly dark content.
Is the devil implying that I'm going to hell?
It sounds like it's all but certain. And then Lucifer seems to reveal some knowledge about the time in which you'll be harvested, reaped.
But your soul seems to be in some question. Still.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I've been doing squats. I don't know if that helps the soul at all, but I've definitely been doing them. You might consider a squat yourself.
Car name from manufacturer asks, we all know rich Corinthian leather is a phrase invented by Ricardo Montalban to sell luxury vehicles. Corinth has never been a source of fine leather, and most of the leather they used in the ads Montalban appeared in was from New Jersey. If you had to invent a fancy term for something fairly mundane, using a place's name as its qualifier, what would you use to elevate bricks, grout, livestock, feed, graphite?
So we need to, it sounds like we're being asked to perform creative services
for no money,
for free.
Yeah, for a construction company.
Yeah, that's
that
what
also has.
I was just going to say. Yeah, I was just going to say. I think that it's a construction company that has just gotten a contract.
Yeah.
To make stalls.
I mean, our go-to ones these days tend to be shade grown.
Oh, absolutely.
Locally sourced.
Yeah, exactly. Like those are classics, but we need like the place.
Yeah.
So okay, so Corinth, but the Corinthian. I mean, this is the reason it works is because that sounds rich, like leather. Like I want to own something made from that product.
Honestly, Jerry, I don't know why we even have. This is some person giving us this bullshit in a fucking Windows 98 email. It might not even be true. It could be anti-Corinthian leather propaganda.
God, it could be. I hadn't even considered that.
Consider it.
Well, and the reality is that Corinth at least sounds like a cool thing up front. If you start anything that you put Seattle in front of, automatically becomes suspect. I think I've seen enough.
I'm getting it out of here. What?
Oh no. Okay, so Technomancer Mike from Compiler Showdown asks GCC, LLVM, or both. So you have to understand that this is simply our engineer scourging us because there was a huge pile of test questions in there, and they were all incredibly kinky inside baseball web developer shit.
Some of them remain.
Some of them remain.
Ralph Chilton from Portland asks, I once made a belt out of clocks. Total waste of time? I'm going to use that on my kids.
The mind reels.
This one's all you.
Johnny from Stagwood Hollow asks, if you absolutely had to, which fighter from Killer Instinct would you get a tattoo of?
Fulgore.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's the easiest thing on earth.
What do you mean if you absolutely had to? Are you offering?
Well, no, I was just
Where
going
are
to say,
you?
listen, yeah, Johnny, I'll bring my skin.
Yeah.
I'll bring my flesh if it means that we emerge from it with a Fulgore tattoo.
Hell yeah.
I would consider the absolutely had to would be like Jago.
Yeah.
But like the easy, ready to do, can we get it done today is Fulgore.
I would
for
do
sure.
Fulgore arms spread on a cross, full size on my back.
On your
I would.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Reach out to me via email if you can do that.
Yeah, Johnny, hit us up.
All right. Jeff Raven, is that a real name? From the Pit Crew by way of Club PA asks,
Indeed.
For many years, my mornings have been plagued by the necessity to wake up early. I am not a lark, so I had to turn to easy to obtain phytomedicinal solutions. I know what you're thinking. It's not cocaine.
I wasn't thinking that.
But rather caffeine.
Oh.
Coffee has always tasted horrible to me, but thanks to community members in Club PA, I'm getting decent coffee by grinding my own beans fresh. Where's this going, Jeff?
I'm ready. I love all of this. Were you
I'd
hoping
like
you would
to
do?
know-
Were you hoping this was going to be car shit? Didn't you?
Yes.
Oh no! Now he's driven right into my domain.
What do I need to do to improve my coffee game? Perhaps with the success of Acquisitions Intoxicated, we could have a show about coffee. No.
Here, listen. So 2 things. One, I was back a couple of days ago. I don't even know why I did it. I wish that I hadn't done it. I went back and looked at some of the old Acquisitions Intoxicated streams, which was Twitch's brewing show. We used to do it on Tuesday afternoons, and then we'd play war games or paint miniatures. And it's shocking what this virus has stolen from us. But
yeah,
the easiest way, I'm not going to go into it for a long time, even though I could. The easiest way to improve all that coffee stuff is just to start home roasting. Just get a fresh roast. Nice. Just lean into it. Just get a fresh roast, home roaster, go wild, and you're going to save money. I mean, ultimately, a pound of great coffee, even like world-class coffee, is going to be, $4 to $7 per pound. And if you compare that to what you'd be looking to pay at the store, in a way, and I think there's a reasonable case to be made. In a way, you're actually making about $10 per pound that you roast. So it's something to consider.
I legit started to fall asleep, and I was like, oh shit, I'm going to fucking fall asleep. I was starting out just pretending.
Well, no, dude, you don't want to fall asleep in one of those chairs that can lean back.
Yeah. I was like, oh, fuck, you get that feeling where you're like, whoa.
Well, no, I know what it is. It's that feel. It's where you lose weight.
Yeah, like I could have gone right there. All right. Let's read another one, though. Delg from Pittsburgh asks, I cannot see the future, but if handy, can you play us a song, Jerry? Maybe Mike can harmonize. No.
Maybe
Do you have
Mike
your ukulele or anything there?
Well, I don't not have it. Let's see.
Play a little something.
Let's see. Can you hear it?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try.
Okay. Now I can.
And then that's G, I think. There you go.
That's wow. All right. Great. Great stuff.
But I can't do it if somebody's watching.
Fair enough. Go for it.
I got it. Casanova Frankenstein from Mystery Men asks, I have created a beautiful machine that is going to encourage our fellow citizens to share my vision of the future. Can you dig it? This is for their use, for their edification.
Go.
Yes.
I don't know how to say that.
Don't worry, I got you. Chickapoo, oh boy, from the Those Who Smoke Upon segment on super late night TV. I think this is a show that only exists in their mind.
Yeah.
No, you might have to scroll down on this one. This is the first one we've seen that actually has.
I didn't know it supported a scroll bar.
I'm telling you, this is the level of sophistication delivered by our technomancer, Mike Bueland. I know you guys follow cartoonists and artists, but not often do you talk about animated shows. So have you seen Amphibia?
No.
Star versus Evil.
I've seen it. I like the art.
Yeah. Steven Universe Future.
I don't know what Future is. I mean, I've seen Steven Universe. I'm not a big fan.
I saw a couple. I was on an airplane. Sky Prison.
As they're known. Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw an episode of Steven Universe that I found really sophisticated and scary. I was actually too intimidated to continue watching it.
Yeah, it's super sad. It's weird.
It's really, really complex stuff.
Are you looking forward
to it? Because you used to crave. You even did a cover for an Adventure Time comic, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, I like Adventure Time.
Yeah,
I didn't know there was a new Adventure Time coming out. I guess I don't follow cartoons.
Get ready. Close Enough. Same folks as regular show. No. Has Been Hotel. No. Although I have seen more and more people talking about Has Been Hotel. The ones that I literally just saw Avatar. I hadn't even seen the first series of Avatar.
So maybe we're not watching the latest stuff.
Yeah. So like everybody else, I went back through for a full watch. I'm working on Korra.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Brosephine from Virginia asks, if you were struggling to survive in a catastrophically world-ending, I'm just kidding. What's your favorite baby animal and why? I think baby chicks.
Baby animals.
Baby chicks are the best. They're little fluffy, floofy, cute little balls.
They're warm. They'll give you a nibble.
I like that.
I would only make one brief modification, and that would just be to say a baby duck.
Baby duck. Yeah. In my head, as soon as I said baby chick, I'd already thought, but a baby duck.
Yeah, I was just going to say, a duckling, as they are called.
Duckling, yeah. All right. Go for it.
Jocko the Clown from what used to be a Barnum and Bailey's show asks, did you hear about the circus fire? It was extremely dangerous and caused thousands of dollars in property damage. The Rich PAX Q&A IP continues to deliver.
Yeah. I think Jocko might have had something to do with that.
Yeah, a shared universe.
John Coffee Robot from Norwich, UK asks, since I moved out of a shared household, I felt more free to do different silly voices for NPCs while I DM. Are there any voices you do that are a favorite? And have you ever reintroduced a character unexpectedly just so you could talk like them for a while?
Oh, man, you can get in trouble. You can actually get in trouble that way. Doing a voice, like we have like a voice that we use like when we are writing comics. So a lot of times if we're writing a comic, like if we did like the Sand series that's on the site, while we were writing those, we basically we have like this sort of like cowboy dialect that we use the whole time. But that's just like the one voice I have.
Well, yeah, we have that cowboy kind of Spokane guy.
Yeah.
Which is also very similar to my Civil War era guy.
Yeah, it's much slower.
Much slower. And I made the Werner Herzog work for PAX East.
No, it still gets name checked.
Yeah.
In chat from time to time.
I don't. Other than that, the guys at the table used to give me a hard time in our game because all of my NPCs turned into the same person, just kind of a sarcastic asshole with a vaguely New York accent.
Yeah. I mean, my issue is that as soon as I try to execute something that I thought I had some technical ability in was an Irish accent because I had been there for a little while.
Yeah.
But eventually it keeps going and then like becomes like a Jamaican accent and then and then it goes back into Irish and it's just like, but I can't control when it shifts.
No.
So I just have to stop using it.
All right. What's it going to be?
It's a lot of fun on your side. Anime protagonist from, I don't know, probably Shibuya asks, I'm late for anime school. Did Ryan put this one in? And I didn't study because I overslept. Life is hard when you're just a regular, normal, very normal, regular, boring high school student like me. Anyway, last night I had a dream my cat could talk to me, and then I fought crime. Weird. What food is best for holding in your mouth as you sprint to school?
This is some anime shit.
Yeah, this is I think as anime as it can possibly be. Man, that's anime.exe.
Piece of toast, I think is what you have to do.
Yeah, maybe a pork bun.
Yeah, pork bun.
That's a classic. Greg Neer from Not Too Far asks, in Italian, the letters GLI are pronounced like Lee, and you make a face like you're sticking your tongue out when you say it, which I did automatically. The word English has a GLI in the middle. You could pronounce it differently. Just saying, if you want clippable content, there it is.
What? I don't understand it. Say it.
Let's see. English, I think is what they're suggesting, and I wish I hadn't done it.
All right. PAX Online. Anada Lewis from Los Angeles asks, PATV Cribs, when's the first season air?
My children are grown, so
yeah, we got rid of our crib.
Yeah.
If you need a crib, I mean, a lot of places will get you a crib, if you don't have the means.
No, we just as an aside, we were able to find a crib at Babies R Us, and it was very inexpensive. It was missing a couple pieces, but it was very inexpensive.
Yeah, you can get those floor models.
Yeah, but later on I looked it up, and the reason it was so inexpensive was because it had been discontinued months before, but they were still selling it. The drawer on the inside sometimes just fell and crushed young people. So
crushed babies. But they had to do something where they're like, well, how many babies does it crush?
Well, no, exactly. They had to do the baby math.
Yeah, like, sure, it's been 5 babies. Well, I think there was somebody who's like,
It's like I can count that on one hand.
All right. Angus McDonald, my nemesis.
From the chat.
How were the nerves before this Q&A compared to the Q&As for non-live PAXs? Does the physical distance from the crowd ease your tortured souls?
I mean, what have you found?
I found this to be fun. I didn't have any nerves going into it at all. Normally, I'm very nervous before I walk out on stage.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I'm actually like sort of conscious this time.
Yeah, that's
right. The truth is, I mean, and we know this just from having done it. I mean, I guess we've been doing it for a million years. I think I've been to 45 PAX shows. I think that's the number now, which is a couple. Typically, I don't know what it is about it, but once you sort of get into that ritual, that ramp, and Laura has seen this, so she knows exactly how it goes. As soon as I get on stage, I just black out.
Yeah.
Like I'm not conscious in the classic sense.
I'm not really present.
Yeah. And so it's like here, I'm at home. I've got like this microphone here and I got some tasteful lamps.
Yeah,
And
I
then
can hear my kids running around downstairs. Like, I feel very comfortable right now.
Those ocean breezes, no
The
doubt.
ocean breeze is nice.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like we go up for an Acquisitions Incorporated game or something like that. Like instantly,
Oh, yeah.
I wake up after the show. Honestly, like this is probably the first Q&A I've ever been there for. Skeletor from Losing My Mind, quarantined in Skull Mountain. Can you, with Foolish Henchman? Can you? This is the show.
Beast Man,
dude. This is for fucking Beast Man.
Yeah,
this is the show we need.
That sucks.
It is. What is the scariest experience you have ever had during a session of D&D? What is the funniest one?
Boy, like, that's a good question.
Actually scary. You seemed a little weirded out with the revelation of the real Jim Dark Magic, like in real life. I don't know how scary it was, but you were definitely put like ill at ease.
I was absolutely, I think scared. That was a huge shock to me, and I feel like I was a complete wreck that entire game.
No,
because of it.
Yeah, it put you out.
Yeah,
it was a weird situation. Scariest experience. I mean, the scariest experience I ever had during a session of D&D. So the very first time I ever played D&D, I was like 6, and I still remember the description. Like, it's so funny. I've never had an experience in D&D this scary since then. And all he was describing was like a black ooze, like dripping out of this crack in the ceiling and like down onto the sword and then like up my character's arm. And I mean, that was 39 years ago.
Yeah, and that shit sticks with you.
It is still scary to me. The funniest one is, so I run games for my kids and groups of their friends. And not long ago, so I asked them where they wanted their next campaign to be, and they said that they wanted to go to hell, which I thought they meant as a joke, but that's a real place you can go. And so in our version, hell is basically like a elaborate MLM where they've been made to sell infernal oils. But my eldest child did try to seduce a gigantic spider and rolled a natural 20, which is, I mean, it's got to be I mean, it wins the wedding, I guess. It was a very surprising thing.
I think the funniest game I've done is that last one, the Mandalorian one.
The Mandalorian.
Yeah, that was super funny.
Yeah, that turned out
the part in the beginning where it was just you and I on stage, and I was trying to keep a straight face trying to do that goddamn impression.
It was very hard for you, and I could tell, but I respected it and I appreciated it. Ooh, Karitsa from Kiev asks, what in your opinion is the most tasty word in a language you don't speak?
I don't really know any of the words in the languages I don't speak.
Yeah, but I know a couple. There's a really interesting, my wife Brenna used to work in a costume shop with a woman named Rigmore, but the way her mom says it is Rigmur, which is like that's cool. Like that. That's like a name that you experience like in your skin.
Yeah. I like the word chips
because the word is like crunchy, like
crunchy,
a chip.
like chips. I like chips too.
Just to eat.
Anime Dad from season 1 asks, parenting is a rough gig. Either you aren't seen or heard from again after like episode 3, or you're literally the entire source of all your kids' problems. What's your strategy for getting more screen time in your kids' later years?
Yeah, screen time is an issue in every family.
Yeah.
You know, gosh. So how do you get more screen time without being the source of all your kids' problems? Well, look, I mean, it's for the best. There's no shortage of TikToks where someone's daughter has roped them into the latest dance trend. Trust me, you just enjoy it. It's time off.
Yeah. Why?
Grim from Queens asks why.
I don't know, man.
I guess. Chicken thigh? Is that it?
Chicken thigh, yeah. Nevermore from Maryland asks.
Indeed.
Modifier. Oh boy. Answer the next question as Mike Race Car.
Well, try. You can try. Do you have the
Yeah.
Do you have the glove?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Honestly, these are the racing gloves? What I think is funny is so now you've got a synthesized hat and a synthesized vacation paradise, and then real gloves. All right. So Technomancer Mike from Technotown asks, oh shit. Asks EDM, house or trance?
House. Tried to take off the fucking glasses, Jerry. Oh, Jesus Christ.
You reached up and tried to shift. Oh, yeah. Hercule Poirot. Nice. If we need any crime solved, I want you to go immediately back to the tiny mustache.
Yep.
Fantastic Baby from Unbelievable Crib asks, so much depends upon the red wheelbarrow glazed with rainwater beside the white chickens. This is known. But what depends on the yellow wheelbarrow, the green tractor? These are questions begging to be answered. Yeah. I mean, I think that's true. I think that right now at the beginning, we were just focusing on the other wheelbarrow, but we're going to get to the rest of the tools in that field for sure.
Just keep it going. What's the next one?
Yeah. Fred from Yonder Outcropping asks, which is worse, wicker furniture or glass top tables?
Wicker furniture.
Dude, Fred knows what's going on.
I mean, I hate them both, but wicker furniture for sure. I mean,
eventually, and it's just a matter of time, wicker furniture becomes a chair made out of razor blades.
Yeah.
Right? It's just start a timer.
Johnny from Stagwood Hollow asks, between Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, which leadership team do you think would be most fun to play D&D with? I think probably Microsoft.
You think so?
Yeah.
Out of the group?
Out of that group, I think that my impression is that the Sony guys would be very uptight. I think that there would be a language barrier with Nintendo.
Yeah, but you know, the truth is, it's like, but if you think about, like, do you remember that presentation? The presentation they did about like the PS5 hardware. People hoped it was going to have like gameplay stuff, but it really was like a full on end-to-end expression of the philosophy of the PS5 as a platform.
Yeah.
This motherfucker knows about D&D.
Yeah, maybe.
That's all I'm saying.
To me, it seems like Microsoft at least does a better job of, that's the kind of guy I could sit down and have a beer with.
This genre.
Yeah. He always comes out with the coat that's kind of unzipped and there's a t-shirt on. It's like, hey, I wear t-shirts.
Ever seen one of these? What the? From French Toast asks, I've recently discovered the fine art of not quite swearing. This is a very traditional parenting skill. At some point, I just started doing it for nondescript exclamations. They're pretty dada surrealist too, like hinka dinka doo or yucca doodle. Honestly, I can see yucca doodle entering currency. It feels sometimes just as good as the regular swear, but I worry that this will only make me seem annoying and twee to other people. Help! Am I just turning into a human kids bop? So what the wants to know if they're engaging in like, if they're bowdlerizing.
I mean, I absolutely, once you have kids, my go-to one is like, I'll say like, what the heck, or damn it all the heckin' back. That's, if I'm really mad, I say, damn it all the heckin' back.
What I like is that you kept the damn, but then removed the hell.
Yeah, I don't know why. But there's also like, there are some people who replace swear words like with frick or something.
Oh.
But they say it so much that it's like, my God, if you said fuck that much, I mean, you would end up going into an insane asylum.
Yeah.
Like,
It would be a lot.
Yeah. There are people who swear too much without swearing.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
Fricking frickers.
Frickin' frickers.
I heard it today. Now, will it seem annoying and tweet at other people? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's definitely something you have to be mindful of. Reminiscing Todd from Alchemist Shop in Amestris asks, Sailor Moon Sunset, video magnetophone, remember old days. So they played some Ghosts of Tsushima.
Ruminating Todd from Painted World of Aramis asks,
Metamorphosis, our past self constantly dies. What loot will you drop?
Okay, now here, the last one of these was not a black envelope.
Really?
So I don't know what algorithm Laura is using.
But there is a system.
Something distinguishes this question from the other one. I don't know what.
I've seen enough.
Dark Archon from Arr asks,
require more Vespine gas?
Okay. Giraffes on Horseback Salad from the Marx Brothers archives asks, what's right with these kids today?
Oh, man. That's easy.
A whole lot.
That's so easy. Yeah. I mean, they seem, at least the ones that I have, they seem to have expected all this.
Yeah. I think that they're growing up in this stuff. I think that they're much more aware of how bullshit it all is.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
I think that that's true. And, you know, the fantasy scenario is that they can make these things less bullshit for all of us. And I have faith.
I have a lot of faith in them. Angus McDonald from the league asks, what multiplayer game that you loved did you have to abandon too quickly because there weren't enough players?
Gosh, there's so many. There's so many cool games. I mean, that's the most dangerous game. I'm trying to think, because of course I'm at my home computer here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I can just go down and look through and see what's out there. There was a really neat tactical game. I can't even remember the name now, but every now and then I open it up and try to find a game in it, and
Duelist?
I'm not able to. Yeah, Duelist. I could usually find players for Duelist. Like it had what happens sometimes is that those games have an audience that is like super hardcore. So even when it's small, they can still you can still maintain in there.
Yeah.
But here, I'll scroll through this and find it. But what's the next one?
Bada bing, bada bong.
No, I got it. It was Atlas Reactor.
Atlas Reactor.
Atlas Reactor is one of my favorite games of all time. Like it is so fucking cool. And it just never had enough support to keep going. I think because what they were doing was so ballin' that it was just really hard to get people into it. It was basically like a MOBA, like a character MOBA, or like a character shooter, except it was a turn-based tactics game.
Oh, were you talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to all people. I'm talking to every.
I mean, you were just kind of talking.
Yeah. Bada bing, bada bong. Your tongue is now all wrong. From the Donkey Kong intro song, asks, you must find a real physical die and roll it. Any number of sides. The question is, can you do it now?
I cannot.
The bonus question, what did you roll?
I don't have any. I'm on the beach.
Bonus question, what number did you roll on the die?
Do you have a die around?
Well, I have a dice box. God, I probably have 3 dice boxes.
But no die?
But no die. Gosh,
yeah, I mean, this is my racing room.
Well, yeah, it's your racing room. But here, you peek around.
I don't have any. I have this Little guy who's like a strong bird.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's pretty strong.
He's like a strong bird man.
Got some
All right,
micro SD.
I'm going to pull up another question.
Yeah.
Dr. Mundo from Zahn asks, if you had to pick one video game doctor to act as your primary care physician, who would you choose? Dr. Robotnik, Dr. Mario, or some other video game doctor? I think Dr. Mario. He seems like he's trying. I think he's got a medical degree.
You feel confident in that?
I mean, he's called Dr. Mario.
Yeah. Here, I know exactly who it is. It's the doctor from the first Division game.
Oh.
Yes. Dr. Jessica Kendall.
Nice. John Reese from Michigan asks, when making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, do you put the peanut butter on first or the jelly? Peanut butter.
What's this Satanism? Now, there is a scenario in which I can see a person putting peanut butter on one side and then jelly on the other side.
Yeah, that's what you do.
And then no, that's not what you do. You put the peanut butter on one piece of bread, and then you put the jelly on the peanut butter.
What?
Yeah, that's the way you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And that's the way everyone...
disgusting.
That's the way all people do it.
You take the peanut butter first, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you get the jelly.
Well, no, you put the peanut butter on the bread.
You put the peanut butter on the bread.
Yeah.
And then you just...
We've recently had a shift. Both Child's Play and the medical community has recognized an unfilled niche where we needed some additional expertise in the hospital to help us deploy everything that they've provided, and they've started to help us develop a brand new role within medicine, that of the gaming technology specialist. These are people who have expertise in gaming, in technology in general, knowing how to set things up, keep them updated, but also have expertise working with children and work hand in hand with our child life specialists.
We can't afford to support 250 of these positions across the U.S.